downstairs and the kids area, but it also looks like you've got a guest room back here too.
I do.
So, and then you've decorated in like just simple palette of red, white, and blue, and some gold. The wallpaper with the gold stars. So tell me about what was here before and what you've added.
So this is our playroom, and then we have 2 guest baths. It's kind of its own area when we have my in-laws visiting or we have friends. And the idea is that potentially as my children get older, or it'd be such a great place for play dates and sleepovers.
Teenage area up here.
But this wallpaper was here. It was Old Parish Hadley. I thought the stars were adorable. And then we renovated the 2 rooms. Tim Gregory in Columbus was incredible. He's also our neighbor here in Midtown. He came over and renovated the 2 bedrooms to the side.
Okay.
And then all the fabric that you're seeing is all from Jane Wrightsman Estate. She was
all this and this.
All of the blue. It's a blue PFRA fabric, which I may not have put PFRA in our playroom, but the reason I did is because I got such an incredible deal and I got so much of it. So when Jane Wrightsman Estate, who was Jackie Onassis' best friend and was his tastemaker in New York, when her estate went up for auction, I purchased 50 yards of the fabric.
Okay, so you purchased 50 yards of this.
Yes.
So you made it into the cushions, and you made it into the curtain panels.
Little curtain panels and throw pillows all over.
Okay.
But it was fun having that pattern and then spreading it all over.
Because it really unifies, and you've got the banquette over here with that fabric. Like you say, the pillows in here and here. So really is the fabric that unifies this whole space. And then you've just added you kept the wallpaper, the gold and white, and then just added some pops of red.
We got some red Sister Parish, and then I've got iCat pillows from Slightly East, and then the rug is Annie Selke. Everything else is pretty much from an estate sale. There's a lot of, I will say, mainly Baskets Home wicker, as well as Varnish Collection wicker. These are actually Urban Outfitters. They're $100 dupes. They're such great side tables.
Especially up here with kids.
Yeah, you can knock them over. It's no big deal.
Hurt, yes. No glass.
Exactly.
No glass. And then this great piece over here, this great wood table with the wicker and the blue and white. So another little seating
that table, and the leaves were down, but it was in my grandmother's closet at our house. This was, and no one was using it.
Wow.
And so she's letting me borrow it,
but a great space to do puzzles, play Legos.
I know, it was like a little homework nook that I thought of when I was putting it together. And these chairs, mainly Basket. Shout out to Anna and Mary Lovett. This is a Varnish Collection basket. We usually have a big urn in there. And the light fixture I got for like $90 at a Circa Lighting sample sale. Then all the art is from these are Mary McGuire from Stair Auction House.
The animals.
Okay. And was so excited to find those. I've always been a fan of Mary McGuire. And then the art right here is somebody named Happy Art. She's from Chicago. I did a marketing trade with her years ago. And so that was in my old office and is now.
And it's paper.
Perfect for the playroom. It's paper. And
there.
then she framed it.
And it's the perfect size because it goes from the short ceiling to the floor and adds all this color. And then tell me about this. This is
It was like kind of preppy and fun, and the colors went with the upholstery. But it was from America's Mart Cash and Carry sale.
Yeah.
And that was something I found, and I needed something in this space, and it was an inexpensive and kind of fun and fresh way, I thought.
Well, exactly, and it's fun having a space like different kinds of art. So you've got like some works on paper that are a little bit more abstract, some obvious watercolors of animals, and then this, and then a photograph. So where it's mixing it up, all sorts of different kinds of art, and then these lamps. Tell me about these lamps.
Yeah, those lamps are actually from One Kings Lane. They are, I can tell you the brand if anybody's interested, but they were maybe like $100 or something. They were a great buy, and
it's kind of like a Christopher Spitzmiller knockoff.
Exactly, it is a total Christopher knockoff. It gets that marbleized look, and especially for a playroom, I felt like they were really fun and fresh. I needed to bring them in more red.
And then another great thing about this whole house is, Elizabeth, you've got so many custom built-ins in this house. Like you've got this bookshelf. I mean, just upstairs alone, not to mention the downstairs. It's all custom built-ins.
And a lot of,
go ahead.
A lot of it are built-ins within built-ins. So there might be a drawer, but then there'll be like 3 drawers inside.
Ooh.
This one doesn't have it, but we have a lot of those too.
And then like you've got this little kitchen this little kitchen area right here with all these built-ins. So this is nice to have this up here. And just in case you need some Southern straws. We got our cheese straws up here, which is a
Anytime we have a
Columbus,
visitor
Georgia
over, we always
favorite.
give them Southern straws, so I had to have those ready.
And then underneath the little beds over here, you've got the built-in drawers for
Linens.
Linens, yes. Okay, and then the Georgia football. Tell me about this Georgia football. That's all autographed. Go Dogs!
Go Dogs! My husband's grandfather was a quarterback at University of Georgia back in the 60s, and that was one of his old footballs.
Oh, wow. And then here's Georgia #1, so this is very appropriate to have this front and center.
It is. You gotta keep the Georgia memorabilia.
That's right. That's
front.
right. And so then you've got a TV over here for the kids to watch. And then I love your old National Geographics. A lot of people grew up with National Geographics. They don't make them anymore, but it makes such a great putting them all together like you have and styled your bookshelf. Once again, a pop of color with the yellow. Okay, so this is a great example of decorating a hallway. So it's kind of a wide hallway, so it's not, so and then you've incorporated all these is it dry flowers?
It is dry botanicals.
Okay.
And what I did is that I found a book in an auction for $100 in London, and it was all of these pages of the dried botanicals. And during one season of The Bachelor, my husband and I got paper from Michael's, and then we framed them all. And the whole project cost less than $500, and
wow.
I have 60 prints. And then a little tip for people is these were shiny when I purchased them. Like any sort of cheap frame you're going to buy is usually shiny. But what I do is I grab sandpaper and I sandpaper all of them so it looks a little bit more of a matte finish.
Okay, so these frames are from Michael with the matting, and then you just added this, or did you add the backing also?
So I added the backing too. You don't have to, but this is just paper that you would get for scrapbooking, for example. You can get like 50 sheets for $5, and I put it in the back, and then I framed them with Michael's, and I sandpapered all of them. So it was a nice DIY project that.
So now we can see all the way down the hallway. So how many do you think you have? Because it's this section of the hallway and part of the hallway going into the master bedroom.
So total I have 60, and I think hanging out there's about 48.
Oh my. I mean, it just makes such a statement. It's like you say, for $500 fills this whole space with life. All right, so now we're in the master bedroom. So I remember this room before when the previous owner lived here, and so she had the same drapes.
She did. Jack Collins did these drapes, and I think they're beautiful.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And timeless. And she carried the drapes over kind of right here by the bed, and then as you go into our hallway that leads to the master bath. But one thing that was pretty neat, and I would never have thought about it, was how Hal Averett had thought to build the bed back here, so it feels a little bit like a canopy.
Sure does.
But it's different, and it also adds interest when you have a room that's a little bit larger.
Exactly. I mean, otherwise it would just been, it kind of breaks it up a little bit, a big cavernous, this is a big room. And then it's neat lying in bed and just being able to see outside on either end. And then because the drapery is such a distinct fabric and pattern, you just kept a simple sunburst mirror over the bed. That's all you need. And simple linens.
I didn't need a whole lot.
No, you don't. And simple linens, you don't need a lot more pattern to let that be the star of the show. And then plus, in a bedroom, it's nice to have a peaceful, restful space without lots of busy art and patterns and color. All right, and then in this corner, this is the neatest little piece right here. It fits perfectly. And you were telling me about, where did you get this from?
So it is from a princess in Spain. And I purchased it in Palm Beach, and it was from her estate on the island. And I thought it was really pretty.
A Spanish princess.
Isn't that wild?
Neat.
So just learning about where things come from when they're secondhand is really interesting at times. That this was, from her large home that was on Palm Beach Island, and it's all wallpapered inside of here. But
wow, look at that beautiful.
You know, it makes it
color.
really fun, and I feel like unique, and it's a lot prettier piece than, especially I bought this when I was 25, that I would have gotten them.
Well, that's a good point. Like a lot of newer pieces, they don't have the provenance. You don't know. I mean, it's Wayfair or wherever you get it from doesn't have that provenance. But older pieces that are from estate sales or thrift or from family, they have that story, that history, and that adds so much to the piece. And then it's neat to tell your children about it, and then they pass it on, the little story. But and I've seen it before. They have friends come over, little kids, they'll have their friends come over and it's like, did you know this belonged to a Spanish princess?
Oh, I like that. I hope those are the type of stories that they tell.
All right, so now we're in your guest room, and so you were telling me off camera, so this fabric that you have made into a headboard and the dust ruffle was a curtain that you found from an estate sale and repurposed.
Yes. So, my motto really with decorating is repurpose, reuse, and this was a prime example. I had found curtains in a really pretty Brunswick and Phoebe pattern that I liked in an estate sale at an attainable price point. Purchased the curtains. They worked in my old home, and when they didn't work here, I brought them to my upholsterer and we turned it into a queen headboard, and we also did this little banquette area over here. Okay. And so you can really stretch fabric too and use it for all different ways. So just because you use it at one point in one way, never feel like that's the way you have to continue.
Yeah, because then here's the banquette over here that's in the same fabric, and then just adding a couple other little pillows. And then the furniture, the two nightstands, and then the dresser. How did you happen to come upon that they coordinate so well with the fabric?
So I just needed pieces in here, and this was probably about a year ago. My in-laws were coming for Christmas, and I needed furniture, and so my mom, Amy White, loves rooms to go outlet. Okay. I don't, you probably wouldn't know that about my mom, but she loves rooms to go outlet, and she was there. And I was meeting her and saw the colorway of the pieces, and I thought that they would go well, and I just changed the hardware out, and it was a really inexpensive way to furnish this room. And then the lamps are from Mallory Matheson when she did the 2014 Atlanta show house that I purchased from her after the show house. I have fabric shades from Slightly East. Emmy Ruth Wise did the picture, and then I used an old Jerry Bosch frame that I thought was really pretty, so it was a nice way to do something new with something old. And then I'm trying to think some other the linens are all from Lenora Claudia Gerard's, the brand that she runs all of her sample sale when she first purchased the brand. I thought her linens were out of this world and still do. I feel like it's so pretty. So we tried to incorporate those any place we could around the home.
Because even some of the napkins downstairs, you were saying, are from this same brand, right?
I hit that sale hard. It was hard to beat because the quality of the linens, and I'm somebody that I just love quality paper and quality linens. It is my love language. So I really got excited when I saw what she had and what the prices were, and so I stocked up. And that's the best time too, when you're at a sample sale or you're at somewhere where it's large discounts, is to stock up, because you don't necessarily know when you're going to hit a similar type of sale.
Exactly. Yeah. So she also did the bathroom too, and painted the cabinets with all the bugs here and all the little trim here, the butterflies, and then you said she did the lampshades.
She did. So those are all Hudson Valley, and then she was at my house, and I'd be like, well, let's just hit the lampshade with a butterfly. Yeah. And I feel like it just makes it, again, so much fun having that hand-painted element.
Tiny little butterfly up there.
And that's what's so special about having hand-painted murals. Are you can make changes throughout. Yeah. Even at one point, we started to do a tortoise shell over here, and then we ran out of time. We said, she was like, I gotta get to another project, and so we just painted over it. Yeah. And there's all
you got
sorts
two
of
little floating over here,
and we would constantly make changes and reiterations. But this is a great way to freshen up something that you have. This was from the previous homeowner, and I thought it was a really pretty vanity. And again, there's things that we were ready to invest in sooner than others, and a way I really was able to freshen this up was just adding paint. And I used the same paint that we used for the walls, and we we painted the cupboard, and then she did all the bugs. And there's a girl in the UK where there's a lot of great decorative artists named Maud. She's kind of like Cher. Her name's Maud, and she does all of these bugs. And I had always admired her bug work, and so was really inspired by
And then
that.
what I love too is like how you've incorporated, okay, so you've got these cute little monogram towels with Louise, but then your monogram from before you got married, so where you don't have to get rid of, if you've got a beautiful shower curtain with your previous name from before marriage, why, just
Definitely not.
Just keep incorporating.
And you know what I honestly think is really chic is not using your monograms. You know, so many people want monogram dinner napkins, and although they're beautiful, what to me is really fun is to have dinner napkins that have a different initial that you pick up and are antique linens.
That's a good idea.
And no one knows, Marla, if they're from your great aunt from the Titanic, or if they,
that's a great idea.
or your grandmothers. It just adds so much more interest, a conversation starter, and makes them unique.
All right, cheers. This has been so fun.
It has been
visiting
fun.
your home, and now we get to enjoy a little glass of wine and some
Happy
cheese
hour.
straws. Yes.
Yeah, Southern straws.
Yeah, tell me about the cheese straws.
They are Southern straws, which we love. We love their straws here in Columbus, and I always give them out as a Hostess gift or gifts to friends in other cities as a taste of Columbus.
Okay, and then tell me, you've got a little trick about the cheese straws. How do you serve them?
Oh, you always want the ridges up. No one likes to show their behind, and so you really are supposed to turn the cheese straw around so those ridges are up. I got to work on this batch, but ridges up, folks.